Hello everybody, it's Glob and Boopin here, back with another deck profile, and today I'm going to be doing Cyber Dragon Orcust. This is going to be fun deck profile. Obviously, your ban list will be coming out on October 13th, but in the meantime, 2 regionals will be there. So this deck will be good for a while longer. Let's get started. Starting off here, we've got three Cyber Dragon Core. Basically, you cannot play the deck without it. They search you your Cyber Spell and Traps, and really good starter for Link Summon. It's only when he's normal summoned. Also, if you have no monsters on the field, you can banish this card to summon a Cyber Dragon. Really a good necessity. Then, of course, your 3 vanilla Cyber Dragons. All they do is special summon from the hand when your opponent has has a monster and you don't. And he's basically the basis of your deck, like core. Next are 3 Nasters and 3 Hurts. Because when Naster's you can discard a card to special summon Naster. And he also starts your orcust combo real fast. Because if you have a Naster and a Hurts in your hand, you discard Hurts, special Naster. And if you already have a monster of 2100 attack or defense in your grave, you can automatically revive it with Naster. So, if you have like a Dingirsu in grave, he can automatically be summoned back, and then his effect triggers. And then Hurts, when he's just sent to the grave from anywhere, even being detached from an Xyz material, he basically lets you add one Cyber Dragon. Yeah, one Cyber Dragon from your deck to your hand. Also, when you special summon, he becomes a level 5. So, basic cards, necessity cards. Alright, next are your 2 Galaxy Soldiers. They can also start your combo because you pitch a light to special summon your special Galaxy Soldier and then search. Really also a good card to chain block, especially if you have a card that you want to go off and you don't really care about the other. So, it's a really good card to use. Plus also you get your Infinity way faster. Then our Danger Package. 2 Tsuchinoko, 2 Nessie, and 2 Jack. Because whenever you brick and you don't like certain cards, or if you have your Orcust cards in your hand that you absolutely do not want in your hand, you can just pitch them to the grave. You can activate Dangers. Hopefully your opponent pitches them to the grave, and then you just go off from there. Plus you draw one. So, really good card and also really good link material. Then here comes the Orcust stuff. 1 Babel, 1 Skeleton, 2 Nightmare, 2 Harp Horror, and your Wonder Wand. So your Babel is going to be basically, you can activate your Orcust monsters in grave or your Orcust links as quick effects, so you can activate them on your opponent's turn. Really handy. Especially since Longirsu, anything that he's linked to, anything that he points to on your opponent's field, you can use his effect, target 2 banished machine monsters, shuffle them in a deck, and send that card to the grave. Really good card. They all have their same effects. Banish to special. Harp Horror, you banish a special from deck. Orcust, Nightmare, you banish, send an Orcust from deck to grave. Target an Orcust monster on the field, it gains attack. Skeleton lets you special summon a monster from grave. Wonder Wand lets you add an Orcust monster that's banished to your hand. But the whole Orcust combo is, when you start off, you want to you need to link off into Mermaid. Mermaid starts your whole combo after you're done with your Cyber Dragon. Then with Mermaid, you send Orcust Nightmare because it lets you send a Nightmare to the grave. Banish Nightmare. Send Harp Horror. Mermaid lets you special a Nightmare. You link 2 off, Galatea, banish Nightmare, send Harp Horror, target Galatea, gain 17. Then Galatea, shuffle Nightmare, set Orcust Crescendo to in your set 1 face down. Then activate Harp Horror's effect, special Skeleton, link 2 off Galatea, go into Longirsu. And if you're going second, then you got Longirsu's effect too. But then banish Skeleton, summon banish Skeleton, summon Galatea back, and then Dingirsu. Really good engine, and the Orcust engine is very small because you're still mainly playing Cyber, and Orcust is just there to help you combo off even harder. Because if they negate one, if they negate half your engine, that you have the other half to go off with. So now here comes these Cyber Spell and Traps. Cyber Emergency. That's a must. Very expensive card too, because why not? It basically lets you search a light machine type monster you can't normal, summon, or set, or one Cyber Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Funny thing about this card, if your opponent's dumb enough to negate it, you discard a card. So mainly if you have an Orcust card in your hand that you do not want, you discard your one card and then you reset it again. Then you can just activate Emergency because it's a normal spell and it was negated. So you can just activate it again. Yeah, Cyber Emergency is a really good card if your opponent's dumb enough to do really stupid things with it. But it's also a good search. Now the fun part. Machine Dupe. Some of you might be like, oh, why the hell are you running Machine Dupe in a Cyber Orcust? Oh, just because, when you normal summon a core or any of your baby Cyber Dragons, their name automatically becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or grave. So, a Machine Dupe only works with a monster of 500 or less attack. You target it, you special summon 2 Cyber Dragon from your deck. Plus, that lets you go off even harder. And if you have a Galaxy Soldier in your hand, you can already use one of your Cyber Dragons as a link. So, it's really helpful material. Next, you've got your 1 Repair Plant, 1 Rev, 1 Foolish, Monster Reborn, and 1 Call By. So, you're not really worrying about hand traps because Draw and Lock does nothing to this deck at all because you're mainly sending or special summoning from deck. Ash does do something, but it's not like you're already going to have counters because this deck loves going first. So, yeah. And then the Monster Reborn for extra combo. This to send your Foolish Burial to send your Wonder Wand. You do not want to see this in your hand. Rev System, just for it's a free Monster Reborn for Cyber Dragons. Cyber Repair Plant to add a light machine monster from deck to your hand. Or if you have 3 Cyber Dragon in your grave, you get both effects, which the other one is target a light machine monster in your grave, shuffle that target in your deck, and you can activate them in different chains. They don't go add from deck, then target. You can do the target, then add. So it's a really nice recycle card. And then everyone knows the 1 Call by the Grave. I have 2. I think I have 2 more in my side deck. That's just because the deck here is you're hard pressed for space. You don't want to go over too much. Like, this is a 44 card deck. You don't want to go over too much, but this would be a 42 card, but I put in some more stuff, as you guys will see here in a bit. So, those are the end of your spells. Pretty simple. Next come your trap cards. 1 Overflow. Now, I've seen there are a lot of builds out there that do 2 Overflows, but I like just the 1 because you have so many negates on board that you draw into it, plus it's super searchable, so you don't need more than 1. Plus you're banishing your materials. I mean, yeah, there's ways to get them back, but it's mostly Long Gear Suit that gets you your banished stuff back. And when he goes, it's going to be fun. Next, 2 Infinite Imperms, 2 Judgment, and 2 Orcust Crescendo. Now, I can understand about the Judgment being in there because it's like in a regional, time is important, but with this deck, you're gonna lock them out a lot. I don't think you care about your life points as much. Infinite Imperm, a really good card going first or second, because actually it's a really good card also going second because you have no cards on your field and you can activate it like a hand trap right from your hand. Orcust Crescendo, easily searchable. I play 2 because you get 1 in your hand because who knows, you have bad luck, but let's say you get 1 in your hand and you need the other one, search it with Galatea, you have 2 negates already on board for your opponent if you're going first. Really good card to have. Alright, and that concludes the main deck. Extra deck time. Okay, let's start off right. 1 Nova, 1 Infinity, because you don't need any more than that. He's already a free negate. And also, if they Nibiru you, they're probably going to Nibiru you at the Nova, because Infinity you can just revive with Nasher. But if they Nibiru your Nova, you use its effect to special Rampage, and then Rampage, you can even start your combos even harder there because it lets you send to gain it to have 2 more attacks. Not to be confused with the Fusion Summon effect, the effect that you can do once per turn. All right, next, 1 Dingirsu, Boral Sword, Long Girsu, Double Galatea, Mermaid, and Cerberus. I plan to add a Phoenix, because this deck is still this extra deck will be still at 14. But Dingirsu, he's the card that you want to end on when you're done with your combos, because when he's summoned, you can either return 1 card on your opponent's field you send it to the grave, or you attach one of your banishes materials. Also, if cards you control would be destroyed by battle card effect, you detach 1 instead. Really good card. Boral Sword's there for game, because if you have a Boral Sword and a Dingirsu, and they have nothing on the field, that's game. So that's a really good card combo. Long Girsu, he's another card you want to end on to, because you Long Girsu and then Dingirsu. Because if you have Skeleton in grave, you summon your Galatea back that you use to summon Long Girsu. And then after that, yeah, easy pickings. And then also Long Girsu, anything, like I said earlier, anything that's linked, you can just basically send to your banished to the deck, add them back, and send that card to the grave. Really good card. Galatea, she's the one that searches out your spell card. Your trap card, your Orcust Crescendo. Cerberus or Mermaid, these start your combos. Now, I know a lot of people are like, why don't you have a Phoenix or both Cerberus and Phoenix? I'm working on it. I had a Phoenix, but I think I accidentally sold it to someone, so I need to get another Phoenix. But basically, to start off with, to get Mermaid out, all you do is summon a Cerberus, link it off, Mermaid, because she's 1 nightmare monster except herself. Then Mermaid, you just start your combos. So yeah, really, it's a really hard plus right there, because if they don't Ash the Mermaid, it's over. All right, next, these cards are to help you break if you're going second and you're doing a mirror match, or they're doing a really big board. 2 Mega Fleets and a Chimera. So Chimera, well, they're all 3 Chimera, but Fortress and Mega. So Fortress, you basically summon a Cyber Dragon. This is a good mirror match card, because if you're going second and they put up their board, you basically summon a Cyber Dragon, special summon a Cyber Dragon, or normal. If they have it, even if they have a way to bounce it back, they're not going to, because they just waste their bounce. But basically, you Contact Fuse. There's no way to respond to Contact Fuse, because you can't respond to it because it's the cost. You're paying the cost first before you summon. Fuse your Cyber Dragon, all their machines, bam, Fortress. Really good card against a mirror match. It's basically die roll at this point. Whoever wins the die roll, yeah. Then 2 Mega Fleets. This is to deal against people who are not mirror matching you, because it's 1 Cyber Dragon and 1 plus monsters from the extra deck monster zone. So if they link summon and an arrow, which opens up a extra deck zone, they summon another monster from the extra deck. It's not a link. It doesn't have to be co-linked, because when it's summoned to that zone, that is a extra deck monster zone. A lot of people get that confused, and it kind of pisses me off sometimes. But you basically have two fusion targets plus your Cyber Dragon, so that's 3. So he's already a 36 beat stick. But the issue, I'll tell you guys about the issue with these 3. So if you play any kind of negate that negates their effects, right, they lose their attack. But Mega Fleet remembers on the end phase. He remembers his attack. And what I mean by remember, he gains it back. Fortress does not. Because, yeah, wait, hold on, actually? No, okay, so they all three remember. Because some people think they forget because they gain based the fusion material, so I'm actually wrong about this. I just had to read the card fact for a second. But anything that says the original attack becomes this times this, they remember that attack during the end phase, if they're still there. I mean, if they get successfully summoned, it doesn't matter if they negate the effect for the attack points. It's going to be used for a link summon anyway, but yeah, so that's just the one issue. That's the one issue with them. If you're playing to use them on a beat stick and your opponent has a negate, they lose the attack for the turn. And then I showed you guys earlier on the one Rampage. Yeah, I already explained why. He's a really good card. You're never going to fusion summon him. If they Nibiru you, you're just going to do it off of Nova. Alright. Next is the side deck. This is a kind of a weird side deck, but it's mostly for stun, like more negates. So, Cyber Aladdin, he's there when you've exhausted all your resources, because you banish all light machine monsters from your hand, from your field and grave, and this card attack becomes the number of banished special summon by this effect times 5. If this card is special summoned, send all other face-up cards to the grave. So the beauty of this is it doesn't destroy, it just sends. So any things that say it can't be destroyed by card effect, nope. So, but yeah, he gets really fat. He's for the point when you are out of resources and your opponent just has that one stubborn monster. Or you could just basically do it early just to get rid of some monsters. He's an end game, or he helps you end the game. Really good card. Next are your artifact engines. 3 Lancia, 3 Scythe, and 3 Sanctums. I think we all know what Scythes do. If not, well, basically they just, when they're summoned, they negate extra deck. Plus you can send them in your spell and trap. Sanctum is the one that specials them out. And then Lancia, basically, you can't banish cards for the rest of this turn. This card basically is a quick effect. So if you were trying to banish for cost, Lancia is going to negate that because you can't banish. So your artifact engine is really good against a lot of decks. More people prefer Scythes than they do Lancias, but it's a combination. It's whatever you go against. All right. And then next, one Judgment, 2 Mind Control, and then your other 2 call buys. The Judgment was in my main deck at 3. I was playtesting, didn't like it at 3, saw it a little too much, and I could have saw some other stuff. These are your other 2 call buys. You don't really use them as much. Mind Control is really hilarious because if they got a really big monster, you just Mind Control it and then link it away. Very, very fun target. Especially if they got, especially in mirror match, steal their Dingirsu, link it away. It's a really fun card to use. Alright, so that is basically your Cyber Dragon Orcust with the side deck. So, thank you all for watching. Comment, subscribe down below. Really helps. Trying to reach that 25 sub goal. Really helps. And I'll probably have another deck profile up here later on this week or next week. So, yeah. Also, I'll be at 2 regionals, the one down in Indianapolis and the one in Columbus, Ohio. Definitely, if you guys are Yu-Gi-Oh players, you should definitely check those out. They are really fun. The Indianapolis is a regular regional. The one in Ohio is a YCS. So, really fun times to be down there. And anywho, I will see you guys on the flip.